What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of SSC Podcast. I'm here with my astute co-host. Let's introduce them first and foremost. My homie, the Mr. Birthday Boy, Eddie Player One. What's going on, Eddie?
What's going on, man? It was an awesome day for me yesterday, bro. It was a birthday to remember.
Absolutely, man. Hey, what? You ain't got to go into the whole kit and caboodle, but did you have fun with that Mortal Phoenix Rising today, man?
Oh, I did. I finished it. It was fun. It was a hell of a fun, and I suggest everybody to finish. Doesn't matter the platform you play. You finish, you get a skin that's gonna be available for when the game releases. And I'm saying doesn't matter the platform because of Ubisoft cross save. You will be carried that skin to whatever platform you decide to play the game.
Awesome. All right, and we got my homie, the co-host of SML Podcast as well, Projekt Storm. What's going on, Storm?
Hey, a lot is going on, man. But I'm doing all right, though. I can tell you that right now. This is going to be a show for the people, a show for the ages. And I just think like it's just going to be a show to just cover a lot of bases that needs to be covered. So I'm ready to jump in, man.
Awesome. All right, guys. So this show is going to be like 99.99999% focused on the event to, the good stuff for the the talkable stuff. We'll call it that. It's gonna be on the event. However, let's just do some spring cleaning for PNTS, and then let's just briefly touch over one subject that's like kind of breaking, but I don't want to detract too much from this event because I think this event needs all hands on deck, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But first and foremost, let's do some spring cleaning for PNTS Network. For those of you that are not aware, yesterday we had our very first live episode of the Commission podcast. Definitely check it out where we talk about all things gaming. It is Stadia friendly as well. Today, of course, we have SSC podcast. And we are looking to go live soon with the audio podcast. I know a lot of people have been messaging me, asking me when that's going to go live. We're looking to do that in the next week, hopefully. Also, this weekend, we got SML podcasts, me and Storm. We got live phone calls that are going to be active again, and Yappas. We done fixed our technical difficulties. So we're going to be live again with the Yappas and the live calls. And also Sunday, we are going to have the Yang Meets Yang Gaming Podcast featuring Projekt Storm and Snow Bunny Gaming. All right, that's it for PNTS, folks. Eddie, then Storm, talk about your what you've been getting into since the last episode of SSC.
All right. Yesterday, me and Megatron X and Link TV, we did an episode of the Trash Mob Show. We're talking about the Hitman game on Stadia. It's a game that really surprised me. I have been playing it for a while. I like the story. I like the mechanics of the game. And we even ended up talking about the Hitman 2 and the upcoming Hitman title, which is coming the beginning of the year. But also, I've been doing a lot of live streams lately for the good stuff. But also, I'm doing some sporadic live streams as well. So I please ask you, if you are here and you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to my channel. I'm getting closer and closer to that 1K subs. And it will be my birthday present if you didn't subscribe. You please subscribe over there.
Please, yes. And just as an FYI, real quick, Eddie and Storm's links to their channels are in the description, and they're in the description. So definitely follow them, please. All right, I'm sorry, Eddie. You can go ahead and continue.
No. I already had to finish it. So.
Okay, cool. All right, Projekt Storm. We know you ain't been playing nothing, right? You've been sitting there watching me playing.
Man, I always play games, man. I mean, that's what I do. I'm a gamer. Got to play these games out here. If they're pumping them out, I got to put time into them. Thoroughly break them down, and make sure they run in 4K. If they can't be streamed or play in 4K, then I might do a double take. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I am these days. 4K is the bar. But now I've been playing a whole lot, man. I won't even go through the list, but recently Doom Eternal, the Ancient Gods DLC Part 1 DLC dropped yesterday. On that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like the folks at it should be arrested for making something so dope, man. And Google Stadia is guilty of having technology. Where the hell did they get that from? Let me hey, Eddie, you still got that connection to Area 51, man? You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I feel about that whole thing. But I also been focusing on some of the smaller games. Like I jumped into Celeste. You know, finally got a taste of that. Little Nightmares and so many other games, man, that I finally got an opportunity to play. And that's what I've been on, man. It's just been, you know, just hopping, just hippity hopping. Like, you know, hip hop, you don't stop. That's how I like to do it.
Awesome. All right. And me, besides the Phoenix, or is it Immortals? I still get that mixed
Immortals
up.
Phoenix Rising.
Immortals Phoenix Rising
or
demo.
you can just call it Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Rising. I'll stick with that. That's it. That and some Division. I was able to sneak in some Division earlier, but there's been a lot. It's been a banging news week, a lot of stuff going on, and so that consumed my time. But what I also want to talk about, which I forgot to talk about in the cleanup, is we officially have a new sub channel to this channel. Okay, so here's what's going on. This channel that you're on right now, the Stadia Dosage ENT, is a branded channel. It was formerly just Stadia Dosage. We made it a branded channel, partially to deal with the whole Google, YouTube thing, and then partially because we wanted to do some new things. Well, the first new thing that we're going to do is we're going to start having sub-channels because we understand, we're fully self-aware that there are viewers that want to just see this type of stuff, podcast and news. There are other viewers that just want to see game streams. And in preparation for full integration of YouTube and Stadia, we want to do more game streams here on YouTube. So we kind of resurrected the Stadia Dosage direct link, but it's to Stadia Dosage 2. So it's channel 2. That's going to be the streams. We're working on getting a direct link to Stadia Dosage Entertainment. But just so you're aware, we now have an official new channel. There's a welcome video there, and pretty soon we're going to have live streams or different Stadia games being put up there as I play them. I'll record them and I'll put them up there if I'm not going live. So just so everybody's aware of that, that is now officially live. And if you go to Stadia Dosage, instead of bringing you here, it'll bring you there. Don't ask me why. Something quirky with YouTube. I can't fix it. Can't nobody fix what's going on with Google anyway. But anyway, okay, let me not even go there. All right, so let's address this little the 500-pound elephant in the room that's gonna, balloon to 1,000 pounds, but I think is like a smoke screen that's gonna keep our focus off of what I think is the real hands-on deck issue. And that 500 to 1,000-pound elephant in the room is this comment that was made by, let me see if I can find it. It's all over. I should be able to find it easily, right? It's all over the place.
No, maybe not that easy. Just have a 4,200 retweets.
I don't know why it's not on. They probably, hey, look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. And it's this guy from Google Stadia, the director. Wasn't he part of the studio that they acquired or something?
Yes, he was the head of the studio. I won't remember the name of the studio, but they did the game. It was Journey to the Savage Planet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he used to be part of them. Here it goes. Actually, I got the tweet right here, and I'm going to share my screen. Share my screen. This is it right here, and then we're going to share. Okay. So I want to just get this out of the way because I do feel like I'm going to be frank. This podcast, without being vulgar, I'll be frank. I think there's some serious things that we got to talk about, guys. I do think there was definitely good this week, but definitely some concerning things. Not 100% sure how the panel feels about that, but they may feel the same way, they may not. With that being said, I don't know if this was a covert distraction. I know me and Eddie talked before, and he's like, I don't know, they would go this far. I don't know what this is, but to me, as the consumer, the one that wants to know what is going on, this doesn't help me at all. And I'm not even going to, I'm not going to rubberneck. It's like if you watch a crazy explosive car wreck on the road, yeah, that's bad. It's horrible. You know it's going to make the news, but I still got to go to my destination. And my destination right now, so much is not this. I don't want to rubberneck and get myself distracted and get myself in an accident focusing too much on this, even though I know the internet already is and they will be for a few days. But it's this guy, Alex Hutchinson, goes by the tag Bang Bang Click on Twitter. And he says a comment that is just bewildering, particularly the timing of it. He says, the real truth is streamers should be paying the developers and publishers of the games they stream. They should be buying a license like any real business and paying for the content they use. Now, on the surface, my friends, you would think that it's April 1st, but it's not. It is October 22nd, and he wholeheartedly meant this comment in entirety, all right, from all intents and purposes. Why he would put it out here now, I don't know. The content is dumb. The comment is dumb. It's stupid. And the way I look at it, he has no say at that level to make such a quote unquote policy happen. So I'm personally not going to focus on it because, like I said, I don't want to lose. It's like me being a cop and I'm chasing a robber. And if I rubberneck too hard, I might lose the robber. And the robber is this good stuff event.
Hey, man, can I read a tweet that I just received like 30 seconds ago?
Sure, go ahead. If you want to share your screen too.
No, it doesn't even need to. This is from the guy which I had the chance to interview, the global director for marketing at Asus.
Mm-hmm.
He just tweeted me and say, that guy did a stupid comment. I hope somebody from inside Stadia come up and clarifies that the company and the whole team doesn't share the same way of thinking.
Yep. Go ahead, Eddie. We might as well transition to you because I gave all that I think about this. What are your thoughts on this? You know,
well, it goes again to that situation we had a month ago with the guy playing Avengers somewhere else, and he was a marketing something as well, and we had the discussion of okay, if you are a Stadia employee and you want to talk about video games, you just gotta make sure what kind of thing are you talking about. It can go again. The opinions are on my own. There's nothing to do with my job. But at the moment that you have a big account, you are verified over Twitter, and you hold the title of creative director, and this is a completely related to content creation, and you put it this opinion that maybe be yours opinion, but not the opinion on how the company want to hold the business. I guess somebody from the company needs to put a statement saying his opinion are on his own. We don't agree with that, and we're not getting close to go on that way. Because you got to think on the big strategy here. He is work for Stadia. Stadia is a Google company. Google owns YouTube. YouTube have an own section called YouTube Gaming. There's a whole industry of streaming. That something like this happens, that industry collapses. Because we can talk about the 1% or even less than 1% of content creators who make a shit ton of money. Oh, I'm sorry for saying.
Oh, no.
But the rest, the 99%, doesn't. It's not the same situation. And even if you go and say that this doesn't help sell a game, because I saw some of his replies to that tweet saying that it doesn't help at all sell a game. That's completely bullshit. And the last 3 months just proves that. Fall Guys became a sensation because of streaming. Among Us becomes a sensation because of streaming. And the sales of those games go skyrocketing. So you're saying that the games The gaming industry doesn't make enough money and would need to charge for the gaming streaming industry. Bro, I would love to see some data to back it up. That
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, and that's all from now I can share on this this subject as well. But I want to hear a little bit from Storm on what he got to say about that.
Oh man, I really don't care too much about it at all. It's definitely not something that you want to put out there. But people say dumb stuff all the time. Like somebody just said something stupid just now. You know what I'm saying? Just every second somebody's going to say something dumb that needs to be checked and dealt with. And we've heard some dumb stuff this year that was said and in the past. And then what happens? It blows over. So this dude right here has to realize that, and I'm sure he does now. That you have to be careful with your words, you know what I'm saying? Because you think that maybe one or two people might see. And I always say this, we got to be, even us, we got to be careful with what we're dropping out here in these streets, because people will clip that bad boy and bring it up and use it as a receipt on that ass real quick. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of, hey, worse things have been said. This will blow over. It's not the worst thing that's happened to Stadia. You know what I'm saying? According to so many people. And I'm not worried about it. What I am worried about is some positive findings that I've been coming across, but we'll get into those later at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I think the biggest takeaway from this, besides all the I mean, I'll just say it, the shit show that we're going to see from this, is that Google apparently has this real lackadaisical policy where even if you work for us, go ahead, plaster our name all over your description. And that's okay. Just and still say what you want. Now, people like Jason or Birdie, who I'm a fan of, you know, he talks about other things. Most of his tweets aren't about Google, but they're responsible. But then we've seen other examples, as Eddie alluded to where maybe some of the tweets weren't self-serving at all, or they were really detrimental. I don't want to say self-serving because they ain't got everything that you tweet doesn't have to be about Google. But if your tweet is detrimental for the company that you got plastered all over your profile, then that's a problem. Google seems to not have a problem with that. And I come from the Fortune 500 mentality of things to where that is a big problem. I've seen people terminated and actually had to participate in termination because people said, yeah, I work at so and said company, and they said something crazy, not even as crazy as this. And because of our, was it our morals clause? One of our clauses, we terminated them. So I'm not saying, where I know a lot of people may feel this way, I'm not saying this is what should happen with this guy. I'm saying that maybe at the least Google should tighten up their policies, sit down with people and say, okay, we're going to, you know, we're still going to let you play hacky sack in the lobby. You know what I'm saying? You can still play Pac-Man every 5 minutes, but shit like this, like, no, it can't fly anymore. So hopefully they'll do that. Or if you want to say shit like this, please take our name off of your, you know what I'm saying, off your person, which if you're too high up in the company,
which is
like
the case.
If you're too high up, whether you have it there or not, it's not going to matter. You got a blue check mark next to your name, so you're famous regardless of what you got in your profile. You know, little old me at my company, I mean, I manage managers, but because I manage managers, I was at a level to where I'm not allowed to give interviews because we handle government contracts. We do stuff with big sports entities and things of that nature. I'm not allowed to. I literally, my person doesn't belong to me when it comes to social media. So if little old me, who's nowhere near as popular and high up the food chain as an Alex Hutchison, if there are Fortune 500 clauses that restrict me from even owning myself on social media, then I think Google might have to take a second look, especially after the day, at how lackadaisical they are on these policies. But
I just remember something very quickly here. There's a Brazilian podcast that I follow, and like it's the biggest Brazilian podcast. And there was a girl which he had a career over Twitter, and she could say everything that she wanted. Now it has been a while that a few months that she has joined the Amazon thing, which, by the way, you can see over her LinkedIn profile or her Twitter profile. But when she went She went to participate on that podcast. She said specifically, no, I can't say where I'm work from because I'm not authorized. So you see, not to not put things together. I'm giving an interview on a podcast talking about everything that I want, but I cannot talk about my job or stuff related to my job. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm done with this.
No. That was, I think, a valid point. Storm, did you have any more thoughts?
No, I just wanted to say I was just browsing through, looking at updates. The kid, Alex Hutchinson, said, he's learned from his mistakes already. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just a second chance. I mean, people have said worse stuff. They say it every day. I mean, you just, if you look at the dumb things that's being said, I'm like, yo, man, the bro does he deserves another chance, I guess. But I hope he learned from the fact that Twitter does pay attention. If you get on Twitter and start talking that dumb stuff again, people will know and they will call you out. But he dropped something an hour ago saying, pretty much just amazing to me that people are upset at someone saying that the creators of content should be allowed to make some of the money from other people using their content for profit. Now, all he was doing was speaking his opinion. Stuff gets blown out of proportion all the time, which is why some of us, including myself, I throw myself in there too. We got to be careful about what we're saying, period. You know what I'm saying? Because it might take that one match stem to strike and then whoosh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I will say this to that, not to cut you off, Storm.
No, that's cool. Then 16 minutes ago, you said, hey, everybody, let's hop on some Fall Guys or whatever. He knows what's up, man. But hey, he know it'll blow by.
I will say
when he said that, it was a joke. I'm sorry, Projekt, because he said, anyway, gonna hop online and stream some Fall Guys. Who's up for it? And he put a meme of like I'm gonna have a headache.
Like, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I know. I mean, that, of course, it's unbelievable at the same time. But go ahead, MM.
I was gonna say that you do bring up a good point in regards to everybody watching what we have to say, because as a here's what the dynamic that we don't understand, that the vast majority of the mainstream, the people that are elevating this to the level that they are, they don't understand what Stadia is, why Stadia should even exist, and they're just predisposed to hate on it somehow. And we don't want to give them ammunition. We don't want Stadia to give them ammunition, and we don't want the community to give them ammunition. And in the same vein, I can tell you instances to where we, the community, have given ammunition to article writers, to YouTubers, all that stuff. So I get where Storm is coming from. It's like, yes, the guy from Google should not say this. But at the same time, as influencers, content creators, whatever the case may be, we also have to be careful of our rhetoric, because we just got vultures out there looking for us to say the wrong thing.
Absolutely.
Anyway, period. So, yeah.
And that don't mean cancel your freedom of speech and change your narratives, right? But I'm saying be careful about your narratives, because you know what's going to happen. When that heat comes for you, you got to be ready.
There are people lurking.
You can't live in a glass house is all I'm saying.
I'm watching tracking of the news and the Stadia events. Even though they're getting attention, I don't think the way that Stadia introduced this event, it's tracking the way that they may want it to. We'll see when the dust settles. But with that said, this right here, it's not tracking, because anything that's semi-positive about Stadia, it seems like if Stadia doesn't have a sit down with somebody and says, hey, look at this shiny thing, they don't want to talk about it. The mainstream media has created this element, and we were talking about this on Twitter yesterday. The mainstream media has created this element to where they've dogged Stadia so much that when they do want to talk about Stadia in a normal way, nobody wants to listen, because they've psychologically trained everybody to Stadia is not worth talking about. So what they try to do is they try to play the circular rope dope and say, see, nobody wants to talk about Stadia. Well, for the last 13 months, you've told everybody that Stadia isn't worth it. Now that it looks like it's worth it, they're not buying the food. That is a direct inclination of your false and your farce coverage. You have a journalistic responsibility to fix it. And regardless of the clicks, get it back to the starting point and then start from there all over again. But they're not going to do that because every effort that they put in is going to be about clicks. So this is, to me, more to say Stadia, you might, or Google in entirety. The gaming stratosphere is a little bit different. You may want to focus on handling how the social media roles act just a little bit differently, but community as a whole, because I've seen where y'all have fueled the trolls out there and the Stadia haters. We also need to watch what we say. Does Google have more responsibility than us? Of course so, but it doesn't mean that we don't have no responsibility, period. All right, so now that we got the salacious CNN style masturbating on camera type of news out of the way, let's get into the I said it. Let's get into the event, man. And again, to Storm's point, not all bad. There was definitely some good stuff there. But we want to talk about, like I say in the title, we want to talk about the demos, the showcase, and the landing. So let's first talk about the rollout. We were told, and Eddie, if you got direct tweets, because I can't find none of mine, we basically were told that, hey, look, guys, I know we had our heads down and we really haven't been that vocal, and we appreciate that you like these.
I'm gonna get it. Don't worry, I'm gonna get instant here on our DM on the private message here.
Cool. Let's see here. I know that we were given a lot of, look, guys, we're coming to the surface now. There's some great things coming, and so forth. But here's the thing.
There you go.
You got something?
Hey, Cherry man said, I'm not paying developers nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
well, you are paying.
I'm all about
you are paying the moment you buy the game.
Hey, what'd you say, Eddie?
No, he is paying the moment he buys the game.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. He's talking about extra, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? But hey, y'all know I show the devs some love. You know that. I always talk about giving the devs some love, maybe too much damn love. But I like these games. I like what they do. I know they work hard, so I support the devs. However, because man, I don't want to get into it, but because YouTube is a format or for us to use to make this or to share this content, they're benefiting from our content being put up. I don't want to get into that can of worms because when we start talk about how money should be divvied up and floated around and all that stuff, man, I don't want to say the wrong thing. See how I caught myself right there? So we'll leave that one alone.
Yeah.
Well, everything's going to be good, man. Everything's going to be good. We're not going to have to pay anybody. If we had to pay, then I'll just stop making that content. That's all.
And man, let me know if you want me to bring the backstory of how this whole shit started as well.
Yeah. Do that for the listeners, and then we'll all circle back in on it after you're done.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a 2-minute version. Yesterday or the day before, over Twitch, about 1,000 of users or even more started to receive DMCA copyright strikes, mainly because of music. We know that Twitch is land of no one. Everybody just ignore copyrights over there, and everybody plays copyrights music all the time. And so there's this debate over Twitch about, okay, how are we going to treat these? People will stop playing content with copyrighted. Twitch saying they're going to delete automatically any copyrighted content without even letting the content creator know that their content is being deleted if they violate the copyrights, the DMCA. The first tweet from Alex, it was regarding that.
Mhm. Yep.
He said something about the copyright, and then he went and put it, but bringing to the streaming world.
Yeah.
So
It's a game streaming. Yeah.
yeah, to the game streaming, because the music industry has that copyright for music that you won't, if you buy, or if you're listening on Spotify, you can only listen by yourself. And he was pointing that correctly. He was pointing correctly that if you do the terms and services of any game that you purchase via physical or digital, you don't have the rights to stream that game. So that is according to what is written right now. The whole industry ignores that because the video gaming industry streams video game, and it's something that's been going on, and the industry has just been growing. And he doesn't agree with the disrespect of what is written, let's say.
Yeah, he was talking about something I think fathomable and makes sense. But then he turned it to a whole nother level. And what I think that he was trying to do was, I think the inner developer in him came out, and the bad parts of it came out. I mean, I get what he's saying, but at the same time, like you said, Eddie, and again, I hate even entertaining this because what he proposes is, in my opinion, so stupid. It's just dumb. Yes, streaming is free. That's why people give codes to gamers. They give codes to gamers because they know the advertisement, the joy of watching other people play these games heightens the possibility that the viewer is going to go out and buy the games too.
Yes.
If it didn't work, then they wouldn't be doing it. So what he says is stupid. I think as a smaller developer, they may have had issues with this dynamic, and they may feel impartial to it, where the smaller dev might wanted them a cut or something. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know if he had a bucket of Henny, like my homie Cold Blood Sensei. I don't know what he had.
I was speaking with my wife. She said, I don't know if the game that he created before his studio being acquired didn't outsell his expectation joining into the Savage Planet, and he was expecting more, and they maybe, I don't know if the game didn't turn into a profit. Whoever watched the game didn't catch on. But go ask if Fall Guys or Among Us are mad that people are streaming their game.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. But what? First of all, where is Journey to the Savage Planet?
It's available everywhere.
I'm talking about I'm talking about for Stadia.
Oh,
where is it? But anyway, I'm just saying, man.
Yep. So that was one of the questions that I had too. I was like, but then I thought, I was trying to be friendly. I said, this acquisition was made quick, so maybe it's coming down the pike, and we still haven't heard anything about it. So
okay.
I mean, I hear it. People are favorable about it. So
I checked it. It had good reviews on PC as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But good reviews sometimes doesn't mean that it outsell.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Yeah. So what this is going to get popular. It's going to get pushed. It's going to get views, but I still think what we're about to talk about overall is the focus. So what I don't want to do again, I'm a sheriff I'm on a high speed chase versus one of the biggest robbers. We've been trying to nail down this guy. We think we got him, and then we don't. We thought we had him for 3 weeks, right? We thought we had him cornered for 3 weeks. And then he just slipped out from under us this week. I want to stay focused on this guy because ultimately this is going to have the biggest impact on me, right? This is the big thing that's going to blow over at some point in time. May take a few days. It is going to be a stain, unless Google, and I urge Google to come out there and destroy this somehow. You know what I mean? We already see, look, and I got to say this, and again, this is no reflection on the thoughts of my panel. This is all MM2K. But again, I got to remind people, I didn't start doing this last week. I've been doing this for 3 years, made a lot of friends, inadvertently made some enemies, whatever. I see, we just see people coming out of the caboose with crazy stuff. We see Jez Gordon He had put something out there saying that this is a reflection of what Google may want to do. Jez Gordon is a shill for Windows. He gets an attaboy every time he says something positive for Microsoft. This is the same guy that blocked me personally because we at Triple B was reporting on insider information that said the end product of Crackdown 3 was in trouble. It might even be at the point to where it might get canceled, but that Crackdown 3 was in trouble. He responded to us and said, no, that's not true. You guys are idiots, and blocked us. You know what I mean? Afterwards, and look at what Crackdown 3 is. I don't pay no attention to Jez Gordon. All right. But that does show you that, again, when we as a community or Google themselves are not careful with their words, how our words get weaponized. All right. So I think that's the biggest takeaway from that, is that we got to be very careful, because people from the outside that don't understand the Stadia community, they don't want to listen to the facts that we're saying. They don't want to listen to these thought out conversations that we have, whether we agree or not. They're waiting for the salacious stuff. That's the point that I'm trying to make, is they're waiting for the salacious stuff. And whether it comes from Google or comes from us, they will use it and weaponize it against us. So it's just indicative of us to put on our thinking caps, pay attention, keep our head on a swivel and pay attention to the periphery, but understand what our target is. And as the sheriff, my target is that bank robber, AKA the consistent communication from Google that I've been trying to get a hold of for Lord knows how long. So that's how that's how I'll leave that. With that said, let's move on. Let's talk about the showcase, guys. Storm, I'll start with you. The lead up to the show, and I have it here on the screen from our good friend Justin Uberti. He said, I've been kind of quiet the past few months as we've been cranking away on some killer new stuff for the end of 2020. We're now starting to announce that we've been up starting with Cyberpunk 2077 coming to Stadia day and date, November 19th. Now, looking at that message, Storm, my question first to you is, what were you expecting from this event? Because it was said, this tweet came out simultaneously with the Good Stuff event. What were you expecting from this event originally? Not what we saw, but what you were expecting before we saw anything.
Well, I was expecting a couple big announcements to drop for sure, and Immortals Phoenix Rising was not one of those, because we already kind of like thought that was going to be one of the demos in the first place, or that it would be announced, because we knew it was going to come before launch, and launch is in December. I don't know. I was expecting a surprise. Like I think it was the wording that got me. The wording when they said 3 demos, announcements, and surprises, right? After Cyberpunk, you couldn't help but to get super excited. That's what I think. That's where I think. At first, I thought it was a mistake, but then I had time to cool down and reassess things and all that. But then I was like, damn, okay, they dropped Cyberpunk, gave it enough time to really to get out there and generate the buzz for the good stuff, got all these eyes on the good stuff. Then they announced Ark Survival, a huge title that millions of people still play. You know what I'm saying? And then what they did was MM2K. They went ahead and set the stage up for Immortal Phoenix Rising. And shit, it's not doing too bad if you ask me. I know a lot of people out there are acting like they don't want to play it and stuff. I know that's going on right now, acting like they don't want to try it, but they damn sure are looking at it, and they know about it, boy. But they can get in people's comment section on YouTube and comment about it, boy. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like kind of like one eye open, one eye closed. So I think they set the stage. I think, I keep thinking that Stadia is smarter than us, man. You know what I'm saying? These mugs know what they're doing behind the scenes. They know. Remember, just like you were thinking about your thoughts earlier when it comes to the setup. I don't like the way they did it, because I don't like for people's time and emotions to be played with. Like, I know the homie Bibbidi Bop was out there thinking about not getting some work done and maybe missing a day of work or something like that. And for the announcements, sometimes we get caught up in the hype. Don't act like we never lined up at GameStop and all that stuff for a game and all that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So these people sometimes, all of a sudden they get sick because they want to be there for that live announcement. Now, day one came, and then we heard about the 5 minutes or whatever, 5 minute show, or whatever. It wasn't enough. So people voiced that, hey, wait a minute. Now 5 minutes. Okay, but cool. We got Pac-Man demo and a couple other things out of that, right? So then day two came. I'm like, okay, day two is going to probably be a little bit longer or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's day two. But the finale is what's going to set people like off, like with positivity and just at least quench one of their thirsts. You know what I'm saying? And that did not happen today, is what I was initially thinking. But now MM2K, I go back to the Projekt Storm, the whole window of time, you know what I'm saying, where I could kind of see things a little bit before it happened. But I've been telling people about we've heard Phil Harrison get on stage and say there will be another Connect later this year. I started thinking about all this, and the 1 year anniversary is coming up. There's still some things that they can announce, like Uplay Plus, and they've been setting the stage for that, like with the Ubisoft game announcement that dropped, like the Far Cry's and all those other games that's coming, Assassin's Creed's. So I feel like they're still setting the stage for something. But this show, I gave it a 7.5, and that's because of the impact of Immortals Phoenix Rising and what it has on the game right now. And we'll talk about that more after you and Eddie get a chance to go ahead and share your thoughts, though.
Eddie, I pose to you, my good friend, the same question. When you saw that from Justin, what did you expect to happen? And being that Storm perfectly fleshed out even beyond that, so I'll ask you the same thing. What did you expect that we were going to get? And what do you think about what we actually got in contrast to those expectations?
I think whatever we saw over there presented during the event, it wasn't that much related to Justin.
Okay.
Just by looking at, again, Justin profile, and I believe he's much more technical than a PR presenting games. I feel like Justin may be involved in some kind of refreshment for AI or UI, user interface.
Okay.
So I feel like whatever Justin worked, we will see before the end of the year.
Okay.
Now to the good stuff.
That's a great point, though. That's a great, because if you and sorry to interrupt, but he says we're working on some killer new stuff for the end of 2020. So he could be talking about something else. It's just the timing of
it doesn't make sense. He said killer new stuff, and killer new stuff be 3 demos presented.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
So and when I said UI refreshment, because during that AMA forum, like with the founders, somebody said, "Hey, what about the search bar?" And Grace even put the joke saying, "What do you mean? It has always been there." So I feel like they're working on something that they're gonna present it by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And, the good stuff right now that we had was something just in between. We had some good news with Cyberpunk, and then we got the good stuff. So I think I was going there with low expectations, but the games presented there, I would say, and not the demos, by the way, the games presented. Specifically today, the games presented, it's not for me. But if I look at the 3 days in general, I think it was a good show. We got to know some new games that are coming to Stadia, such as Ark, that Projekt mentioned.
Humankind,
a Humankind game, which is only coming to Stadia and PC. And for the kind of players who like that kind of game, strategy game, it's the first one that we're getting on the platform, so it's cool, and it's only going to be available on PC again. So I think it was a good event. As somebody said on my chat by the end of my stream, we were always complaining that the marketing wasn't doing anything. Now the market did a lot of moves lately. They put out the 2 videos, one, what is a Stadia? The second one, presenting the games. Now there was the demos available. So the marketing is starting to ramp up until somebody But anyway, uh, I feel like Stadia is starting to get traction again for the good stuff. And whatever we will see by the end of the year, I think it will be even more interesting, especially because the biggest games coming by the end of the year will be here.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting next week, by the way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. My thoughts are, when I first saw this, with everything in culmination with each other, I mean, yeah, if you sit back and shout out to the homie Clive Linden. I remember joking with him, and that's my spiritual advisor when it comes. That's my Stadia spiritual advisor, Clive. I remember joking with him back in the day, like, yeah, if you take the magical chalupa out and throw it in the sun for 5 minutes and then rub your tummy for 12 days, then yeah, you can get the meaning of the message. But for anybody that just does what the normal person does and just glance at this and looks at and thinks about the first impressions, I think Justin's message being released along with the good stuff may have sent out some wrong signals and unintentionally. And I get that. But then we also saw, I think from Google, a couple of tweets that said, yeah, we got some great stuff. And then even yesterday, matter of fact, the same guy, Alex Hutchison, oh my goodness, now that I think about it, I think Alex had put something out there where he said, the best is yet to come. Wait till tomorrow. And granted, the best was yet to come because we got the Phoenix Immortal Rising, but the
Immortals Phoenix Rising, my brother.
Yeah. Phoenix Rising, man. Phoenix Rising.
I'm calling it Gods and Monsters.
There you go.
There you go.
Gods and Monsters finally came out, right? But come on, and you're talking to someone, panel, Storm and Eddie, who I said I got it. I got 2 out of 3 right. I said, even though I think that the target marketing that it gave the appearance of didn't match the end product, I get what they're trying to do. Remember, day one, they're trying to hit the casuals, which is the majority of their consumer base. It's going to be. Go ahead.
No, which, by the way, Projekt didn't have a chance to talk here today about the Pac-Man demo.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Projekt, yeah. What your thoughts on the Pac-Man demo? Oh, no. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to the demos. We'll get into the demos. But what I did get was what they were trying to do day 1 and day 2. I said, oh, day 1 is for the casuals. Day 2 is for the PC gamers. And with Immortals Phoenix Rising being the 3rd day, this must be the day for the content for the hardcore in the
console player. But when you look at this lineup, Young Souls, Phoenix Point, a Baldur's Gate 3 commercial, and then the Immortals Phoenix Rising demo, I don't know who the target demo was for that day. Was it everybody? So my issue is, yes, it is great. And something that I said earlier with Storm is, I think that what we've done in this community, the people watching this video, and a lot of us that, we kick it together on this panel and elsewhere, I think that we may be a little misconceived that we represent the entire Stadia community. I think we don't realize that there are wings of the Stadia community that are not as organized as us, but have different interests. Like, I think the bulk of this community, the community that I have no problem tagging it this way because I love the work that they've done and the organization that they've done, is I'll call it the Stadia Source wing, right? Where we worked with Stadia Source worked with us. We helped put together Stadia Super Saturday. We were the most organized, wing of the community out there. And so as people were thinking nobody was buying Stadia, I know this personally because the people that I do other content with was like, wow, there's actually a community out here. This is cool. I'm going to watch this Stadia Super Saturday thing. I think that we felt like those of us that participated and those of us that viewed that, we make up the bulk of the community. And I don't think so. In hindsight, I think we are the most organized and the most vocal of that community. And I think we make up, the bulk of us make up the most stringent
hardcore gamers to want that AAA content. But when Google says they have good stuff, Eddie and Storm, I think that they equally mean, or I thought they equally meant, good stuff for the hardcore, good stuff for the PC, the budget PC person that sees interest in Stadia, and lastly, the casual. I think they're talking to us equally. So when we start hearing we got some great stuff coming, we can't always associate to it AAA banger, because there's slithers of the community that don't really care for that. Those are my thoughts. What are your guys' assessment on that before we go on to talking about the actual games and the demos? What do you guys think about that? You think I'm too far off the reservation, or
Nah, man. You're right on. I mean, 99% of us thought that there was gonna be that one that we can go and party, that one announcement that we could just go and party about today. You know what I'm saying? In the finale, right? Now, how do I know this? Because I'm surrounded by some gamers.
Yep.
If you all spend time in this chat, you are a gamer. Even if you don't pick up the controller, you know what I'm saying? You are a gamer to me. So look, the thing is, man, like we've been making so much noise. Eddie, you, 6'4", Meg, Brian, so many, Rock, man, Red, Bibbity, Chariot, Ray, whoever you look at from what corner. We've been making noise for a lot of months now, man. Like noise that we know they're hearing because that's been confirmed by Google, by Stadia, right? Now, one thing we kept saying, I think people thought it was a joke. You know, if they somehow don't cater to our needs and expectations, we will call that out. Now, I don't mean that they necessarily dropped the ball, because they just got a lot of people interested in signing up to Stadia. That's what they did. At the end of the day, they got more people to try the platform than they did before this good stuff campaign, right? So Cyberpunk has something to do with that. I'm sure we all can agree. Then there's momentum into the good stuff. People are now thinking like, yo, Ark is coming. Ark is something I never played. I always wanted to try that, but the hard drive space was just something that I kind of shied away from. Or, you know, Humankind. I like Civilization, man, but this right here is something that I could try because of these reasons or that, you know, this and that. So if you at Pac-Man, everybody's favorite from at some point, you at least tried a Pac-Man game if you've been gaming for more than 10 years. So, I mean, I think they lined up a lot of things, though. You know, yes, I was disappointed at first when I didn't get at least a Rogue Company announcement, at least an Apex Legends or something like that, that we all hope, we kept clinging to hope that it could be announced, because it's kind of realistic. See, when you start putting that, your realistic skepticisms out there or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You kind of like, stuff starts to make sense in your mind. And then they pull off a move like Cyberpunk Day and Date, and you think anything's possible all of a sudden. So, man, I don't think that they're at fault for anything, but I think the transparency and the clarity could have been a little bit more vivid for all of us out here that was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. You know, we're clamoring and craving for information. Drop us a steak, drop us a morsel, you know what I'm saying? Give us a crumb, so that we know, like they did, like somehow we knew Immortals Phoenix Rising was going to be in the finale. Well, at that point, I don't even care, because I know it's going to be in the finale. So what is that other surprise? Let's get it. So that's what kind of like disappointed some people today. And hopefully those people like myself will have time to sit back and reflect and understand that Stadia has been doing so many things this year. They came back, they rebounded, they launched games that was running better than the consoles, the most powerful consoles in the world right now. You know, they've done a lot of things. They set up the stage for a good fall. Uplay Plus is going to be phenomenal for the platform. These demos, this is the first time we're seeing demos. They're going to set the stage for more demos to come, because now what Immortals Phoenix Rising is going to do, and Pac-Man and others, it's going to open the door for all these other developers who already had demos set up, who can now push the button like, damn, you know what? We might not have 6 months to drop a game on the platform right now, but what about this demo to get people excited? Boom. And demos are there for only the people that want to try those. So now we can have a whole demo section where we can try different games before we even decide whether we want to make purchases, man. I think it's a win-win. At the end of the day, when you look at all this stuff, it's a win-win because big things are still coming, man. We know Madden, big for me. Sekiro, big for me. Ubisoft games, big for me. Like Cyberpunk, huge for all of us. So, well, a majority of us. I can't keep saying all. It just seems like it's big for all of us because of Cyberpunk, but some of us. It's a big game. New features in 2021. All that good stuff is still coming at some point, we know. So that's how I feel about the whole thing, man. I'm good now. Sometimes you just got to be able to get it out, get it off your chest.
You know what, guys? There was something I was just checking here. And I think you guys may agree with me. This event, the good stuff, wasn't for us, the hardcore gamers.
Yeah.
This event is to bring more people, as Emmanuel was saying, the casuals. And I'm just saying this by looking. So the day one of the good stuff right now over YouTube, the 5-minute video, have 31K views.
Wow.
Then they broke down the Pac-Man, Hello Engineer, and the Jedi Fallen Order. The Pac-Man video alone have 33,000 views.
Wow.
So, okay, I know we were over there waiting, refreshing, watching along, but after they finish the event presenting and they put the games out, I think it's when the event really starts for the people who don't know about Stadia.
Right.
And the important thing at the end of everything that happened recently, okay, guys, these games are coming to Stadia very soon, as a Jedi Fallen Order, or Hello Engineer, Ark. And right now, if you are not comfortable with Stadia, you can go ahead and you try Stadia. You try these 3 demos without even putting your credit card info. And there's more. If you don't know, you already know somebody who plays on Stadia, and that somebody sends you an invitation, and you accept that invitation, create an account, you don't get a 30-day trial, you get 60 days trial.
Wow.
Not only that, if that person who created an account with your invite decides to become a pro member, you who send the invite will get 1 month free as well.
Wow.
So
that's crazy. I know Rev was breaking it down like, hey, you could get up to 9 months or something like that if you the referral process or whatever. So that's dope.
So for us, hardcore, it's cool that we got to play these demos. And we know, guys, there's nothing that will top at the end of the year. We're getting Cyberpunk, Valhalla, Watch Dogs, and there's nothing to top.
Right.
Zero. You can say, okay, we're getting Sekiro, the game of the year last year. We're getting Jedi Fallen Order, another game of the year candidate. We're getting those games, but nothing can top those games that I already mentioned. And the important thing is we will be able to play those games here. Again, this event was great. At the end, it's the marketing team pushing to more people. But if we go to the Stadia bubble or to the hardcore gamer bubble, people who would not talk about Stadia today would not talk about Immortal Phoenix Rising, would not talk about Pac-Man or any of this 3-day event. It's right now trending. I see 24K tweets talking about Stadia, and all of those are not talking about the good stuff.
Yeah,
they're talking about Stadia will not allow you to streaming games anymore, and then maybe that looks out with YouTube and people would distort everything. But again, good stuff. I liked what I saw. Marketing going on strong again and trying to bring new players with the strategy of the demos.
Right, Eddie, real quick. Hey, all publicity can be good publicity, man. Because now,
not in this case, bro.
What the hell is this Stadia I keep seeing as trending? All of a sudden now they look it up. Stadia. Oh, that's what this is. All right. And then they look at it again like, yo, wait a minute. Let me check that Stadia thing out. And then they realize they can sign up right now and play Immortals Phoenix Rising, people. Like, man, stay with me. MM2 Eddie, you just if I was the host of the show, I would segue right into the people that's been talking about Immortals Phoenix Rising. But see, I'm not the host of the show. I wish I was, man. Damn.
Well, here I know you constantly got my job on lockdown.
No, I can't, man. I can't, MM. I like, bro, man. No, man. Let's just stick to the script. How about that?
Here's the thing.
I get hype, man. Eddie just made me hype, bro. He just got me hype.
I get to where there's that mantra: all publicity is good publicity, and I want to add to this too. But I want y'all to follow me. I want to add to this too, that I know, and to Eddie's point, he laid this out. Why again? We got to retune our thinking. I know that there's a lot of people in the community. They DM me. I see the Twitter messages and so forth, right? That they're upset because Stadia isn't using traditional ways of communication. And they're not following that type of marketing or the traditional lines of communication 101. But I'm here to tell you, as somebody with 23 plus years of experience in the Fortune 500 world, the top Fortune 500 companies, none of them follow the basics. None of them. Prime example, my first day at work, first day at work, I have an accounting and business management degree. And for those that have accounting degrees, you guys know how you're taught at accounting, and the teachers tell you this is how you do it. Nobody else does it differently. So debits and credits are a familiar thing that you deal with in accounting, right? Debit means it's being taken away. Credit means it's being credited. My very first day on my job, in this position where I was utilizing my accounting degree, this Fortune 500 company, top in its sector, they do it in reverse. That is a big no-no in account. I said, what the hell? And so I was talking to my boss, and I'm gonna call him Willie. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Willie said to me, he said, MM2K, well, my real name, but MM2K, we do what the F we want. We are so-and-so company. And then I started to learn that going to school and me having the resume that I had just showed them that I can follow directions. Everything that I've learned went out the window. And as it started with managing, accounting, marketing, all that stuff, we would go from following typical marketing things to where one day, instead of getting our Wall Street journals, we got books from Zig Ziglar. Now I'm telling my age with that one. Who the hell is Zig Ziglar? You're not getting your Wall Street journals anymore. You must read the upper brass, the board wants everybody to read these books on Zig Ziglar. What? And how to be the effective manager and crazy stuff like that. I mean, Fortune 500 companies that are at the top because they buck the rules. And Google is where it's at because they buck the rules. Now, the thing that we're going to discover is how Google bucks the rules. Are those same traditions, are they going to work in gaming? This is still an experiment as far as them, and this is an industry term, determining their risk appetite. Every company, when it comes to marketing, finance, whatever, they find out their risk appetite, and they say, okay, these are the perimeters that I'm not going to operate in. Here's the perimeters I am. It's kind of like putting your foot in the pool and saying, oh, okay, I'll swim around in there. I'll try. Oh, I ain't going there. That's too deep. I think I'm going to drown. That's the state Stadia is in. So we're going to see more miscues. You see miscues from companies that are established on what they're going to do. Stadia is still trying to get themselves established, the rules of engagement established, in the game. But understand, this is the up and down trajectory of someone like Google, who I can tell you from personal experience has some of the most unorthodox approaches to everything. Anything that you learn in school, these companies throw it out the window. Everything. They do what they do and they're unorthodox, and that's why companies try to mimic them. You know what I mean? So I personally don't like that the message got so muddled. It did. I think that even I like what PlayStation did in midst of Xbox overhyping their event. They followed up and said, "Hey, look, guys, we're going to showcase some stuff. There might be a surprise or two for those looking for big bangs, but we are just focusing on indie development right now or PlayStation." They made it very clear what they were going to do. Google doesn't do that. Will it work? We will see, but it's still earlier on and they're still trying to develop their risk appetite. So those are my thoughts on it. Any other thoughts before we move on to the demos? What'd you say, Storm?
Company, she's into accounting and all that stuff. So I get what you're saying, man. I definitely understand the dialogue. But what I'm thinking about right now, MM2K, is what should Stadia say? And if you and Eddie could chime in like real quick, man, what should they say to the people that keep clamoring for these AAA bangers that they know they can find? I'm talking about like Call of Duty, because Assassin's Creed Valhalla is not something that's a AAA banger. You know what I'm saying? Watchdog Legion that's a AAA game, and Cyberpunk is a banger, and on and on and on. Star Wars. So people want those sometimes free to play style games like Apex and all that stuff. Fortnite. Now, Fortnite is not going to come. I'm just throwing these titles out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But what should Stadia say to us gamers that want games like a Call of Duty? You see it so many times from members of the community and people in the chat. They're waiting for that day that they can dance. They're ready to celebrate. They're ready to ride for Stadia, man. I'm talking about like ride hard on the platform. They've been telling friends about it, man. And the friends are like, yo, when the games come, like my friends, when the games come, hit me up. I'll come over there, check it out. Well, I'm telling them, yo, the games are coming, man. I'm telling you right now. What games? Well, right here. Check out the news. They don't want to check out the news. They're too lazy, right? they don't want to do that. Yeah. So is Stadia doing what they should be doing already, Eddie and MM? Or should they not change anything at all? Or should they give like you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, these are the type of games that we're aiming for type of thing. You know, I don't know. Like, So see the behind the scene moves, the moves that's happening behind the scenes are the things that we can't see. So sometimes people get a little impatient. We're already impatient with some things and more patient with others. But when it comes to a platform and it's about to approach year one, now I'm good. You know, I'm sold. I'm just speaking but I still get caught up in the whole, hey man, a Call of Duty game makes sense. What would y'all say about how should they do that? Should they not change a thing and keep announcing the games they're announcing, because we know we have some bangers? So what should they do about that, or nothing at all?
I'm gonna let Eddie chime in on that one first, and I got my own thoughts. But
so quickly, my thoughts are the following. The biggest bangers lately have been multiplayer games.
True.
Call of Duty. I'm gonna take the examples of the indies again. Fall Guys and Among Us.
Yep.
We know that the platform, it's the best place technically to have a multiplayer game because of the servers. Everybody has the same access on the same server. And the platform isn't the best place for playing multiplayer games because of the amount of players. So if you're bringing a Call of Duty and you don't have cross-play with everything, just don't bring it right now. Doesn't make sense. It's going to be dead lobbies full of bots, and the experience won't be good. It will only make harm for the platform. So if you're going to bring those games right now that you're planning, bring it in multiplayer or don't bring it. But that's what I feel like.
Got you.
Yeah. I think what you have to do is if I'm trying to put my finger on the pulse of what Google's doing, I think that it is a little bit of what you alluded to, Storm. I think that was a great analysis that they want to just create some publicity. We had this conversation on Twitter. Somebody had said, behind their avatar and stuff, and I get, hey, I'm in the same boat. I can't show myself, so they're probably in a position where they can't say, hey, I'm saying all this positive stuff about Google because I write or I contribute to this publication. We don't know who it is. It could be, for all we know, it could be Jason Schreier. It could be his soccer account that's pro Stadia. I don't know. But with that said, this account said, hey, look, the fact of the matter is that people don't want to talk about these publications, don't want to talk about Stadia. Now, I don't agree on the reason and why. I don't agree this because people just flat out weren't interested. No, the media en masse pummeled people into people's heads. Stadia is not worth it. It should be dead. So this is the end result of that. But with that said, regardless of how it happened, it's happening. Stadia is aware of that. So maybe what they're saying to themselves is, we got to overhype this thing a little bit. We got to make it seem like it's an all hands on deck type of affair that people want to cover, or we're not going to get any coverage. And the problem that I have with that is, if that is the case, is that I think you can still do that, Google, and still show a little bit more transparency. I think saying something to the effect of, hey, look, guys, we got some great stuff. What makes it great? We got stuff for the gamers that, for the casual gamer that, or you ain't even got to use the word casual because I know these entities don't like, but we got stuff for gamers that, that game on the fly. We got stuff for the gamer that originally games on PC that realizes the convenience of Stadia, and we got some great demos, for everybody to try. Come on down. You know what I'm saying? Like, put a little bit more deep. You can still be vague to where you're not giving away the goods, but put a little bit more kick and boodle so the hardcore can say, oh, okay, well, I might get something out of this, but we're going to still tune in anyway. And for those that are going to grumble, they're going to grumble over everything until they see Call of Duty and Rogue Company and Madden on here. They're going to grumble. They're going to grumble. So, and we're okay with that, but don't make it seem like in any etch of the mind that you could potentially, don't leave any, this is my message to Google. Don't leave any innuendo that could be taken as you're addressing them unless you're fully addressing them. Right. Make it clear that you're not at all. You know what I'm saying? Because we, the people that get it, and I think there's more of us than those that are just rabid about just a couple of multiplats, as Eddie was alluding to. I think we get it, and the majority of us will say, oh, okay, well, even though I might not play this is still going to be great because it's going to help to grow the platform, subsidize the games that I want, and bring more players to the platform. It's a win for everybody. You know what I mean? So that's all I think they need to do.
Okay. I appreciate y'all sharing, man, because it kind of helped me. It kind of clarified things, man. I still got so many thoughts roaming through my mind, but man, go ahead and stick to the notes, and man, it's a busy day for me, bro. I'll just say that it's a busy day for me, man.
We got a comment from the homie Devin. Hey, Devin, are you talking about our good friend Alex? If you're talking about Alex, we covered that.
Yeah, he is Moss, and I already checked it. It's #1 trending.
Yeah,
articles have been written and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's gonna blow up. I mean, it's gonna blow up because again, it just feeds the narrative. But again, I'm not letting this bank robber get away. The bank robber is, you guys did so excellent these last 3 weeks. It made me get out of the mind state that I was in to where I was like, look, guys, they still got some time before they try to enter the stage. I was really starting to think that they was about to enter the ring. You know what I'm saying?
There you go, right?
Like Floyd Jr.
They still will.
You know? Oh, they will eventually. But I was starting to think, oh, they're gonna just drop the
like right now. It starts now, and then it's gonna be this wave all the way through the next gen consoles to disrupt that noise and all that, man. Like that's what you and that's those things still could happen, is what I'm saying. But the good stuff, when you title it, when you title it like that, and on top of all that hype that was generated, people are naturally going to think,
they're naturally,
here it goes, here it comes.
And you can create that buzz that you want. We get the difficulties. Look, we get it here. We get it, Google, the difficulties that you're trying to deal with,
right?
Because of the media. But again, you still can use a scalpel and just cut in a couple of areas and make it better. You know what I mean? But overall, okay, that's the pessimism on the messaging. Let's talk about the content, which I think was the true winner here, the content. All right. So day one, we got Pac-Man, we got information on Jedi Fallen Order, and we got information on Hello Engineer. Hello Engineer. I said, I was about to say Hello Electrician. Dear God, dear Lord. Hello Engineer. What do you guys think about those games? Let's do it day by day. What do you guys think about those games and how those games could potentially land with its target demo? You want to start, Eddie?
Yeah. Hello Engineer, I found it very interesting, like sandbox, very engineered from what I could see on the trailer, showing building a car, etc. It's a first on Stadia title as well. So we're going to get it, that timed exclusive title coming to Stadia. It's coming on January or early 2021. And the other one, which I already forgot again, was Fallen Order. Fallen Order was a very interesting something. When initially released over Twitter, they said it was coming December 1st. Then they updated to November 27.
Mm-hmm.
That is right. Yeah.
Yep. Think about it.
Yep.
I do want to think about it. That's going to be a pro title, but
yeah, you're right.
I'm not over.
Yeah, I got you. You're right, though. You're right. I'm still thinking about it. I had to stick to it because it's not 2021 yet. So I'm thinking about it. But go ahead.
And Pac-Man, I didn't try too much, but I want to hear a Projekt because he tripped on that. No one.
Yeah, Pac-Man. I as soon as it was announced, we were in the podcast, and I actually started playing the game while MM2K was hosting the show. You know, or I think you were hosting that, right? Or was Eddie? Eddie was hosting that.
Yeah.
Okay. Eddie was hosting it, right? So I jumped in, and I'm like, I can't believe what I'm playing right now. Now, everybody that knows me knows the Chrome browser is not my choice. My go-to is the CCU, the Chromecast Ultra device, right? Because it offers me that crispy 4K and that Ethernet connection. Now, I'm not saying Chrome browser is bad. As you saw today, MM2K did something on Immortals Phoenix Rising. That gameplay looked dope.
Ooh, I love it.
Crispy. I didn't want to watch it, but I couldn't keep my eyes off it. I kept peeking like, yo, I got to see this, man. Now, so Pac-Man, I got on the game and I started moving around, and I'm like, yo, this is responsive, bro. Like, this is crazy. Because, you know, Pac-Man back in the day, it had a little latency where you would try to turn and it wouldn't turn. You know what I'm saying? You might miss your turn. Oh, man, it was spot on. I said, whoa. Not only that, now, I didn't realize, and I knew they were talking about some kind of battle royale aspect. But I saw a clip. I even saw a clip of them traversing through multiple screens. Mm-hmm. But when I did it myself, and I ate the power pellets or whatever, and I started eating these ghosts, man, I started thinking about the possibility of having real players on each one of these maps simultaneously, and you're completing one level and going to the next and going to the next until you're the winner. Man, look, all I kept thinking about then was crowd play. Stadia, I see what you're doing right now. Pac-Man alongside Super Bomberman, alongside Dead by Daylight, and all these other games. I see what they're building, MM. Mm-hmm. Eddie, I see what they're doing. So I started getting hype off that. So then I'm like, okay, am I the only one thinking this way? Because I don't see a lot of people connecting these dots. But then so then I started hearing people in the community saying, yo, you think this is happening? Or I started seeing tweets and stuff like, yo, do you think this is going down? And so now it's starting to, that's why I said Google's smart. I think they're building and adding to that foundation, and they're sitting back and they're smiling, right? They know what we want. And they've been teasing it. They've been teasing us with it. But man, Pac-Man, those games on day one, amazing. I love the announcements. I love what I saw. Hello Engineer, I'm not sure, but I saw the co-op aspects of that, the multiplayer. It just looks like it's built for that. Teamwork, cooperative play, you know, and those things are going to resonate with a lot of people who loves that franchise. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So that's enough for day one right there. That's my thoughts. Star Wars is just Star Wars. Come on, I don't even have to talk about that. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I said day one was just clear. It was just air apparent to me. That was casual day. The people said, "How was Jedi Fallen Order?" Well, it's a Star Wars game, so you know. But Eddie, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on day one?
Great day, great start. Especially once we know, and you know what? There was a comment from Lloyd earlier over Twitter, and he goes like, "People saw a glimpse of that Pac-Man game may come. People go crazy. Then we got the Pac-Man demo, and people goes like, it's just Pac-Man. So come on, dudes. Yeah, it is a again." Great day one. I love the games. And it set up a perfect path for the rest of the event, especially we knowing that what we were going to receive by the end of the event.
Yeah, and I see go ahead. I was going to get Roman in the chat. He said something that I can't ignore, right? I think as a whole, good stuff was good stuff. But maybe they should have held back the Cyberpunk and Ubisoft news until day one. I think I thought about that too earlier, but then I thought that Cyberpunk was used to set the stage to get more eyes on the announcements to bring attention to all those other games they announced. So yeah.
There was another excellent comment here. I gotta just find out how who was saying that we cannot forget that on the last. It's from Gandara. This is saying, let's not forget, in the last 7 days, we learned about 20 titles coming to Stadia that we didn't count it before.
Right.
So in 1 week, we learned that 20 games are coming. We cannot forget about that, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's phrased like, instead of it making it a 3-day event, just say, hey, guys, over a 2-week period, we're going to periodically pepper you with 20 games and at the very end, 3 demos. You know what I mean? Call it Game Bonanza. You know what I mean? Just call it Game Bonanza or something like that to get hype, because I think you then get attention, because where I've seen in the tracking where Stadia is the most popular, and when I mean tracking, I mean how many people are talking about Stadia, how many people are talking positively about Stadia, you know what I'm saying, and how the positive articles are ranking against the negative articles on Stadia. When you look at the tracking, the most successful for them that I've seen is when they address game lineup, when they increase their game lineup significantly and they're very clear in that communication, and when they address convenience. I've seen when they address convenience, that get a lot of tracking. And I think something highlighting that was an excellent comment. I think highlighting that, hey, over the next 7 days, call it Game Bonanza. Over the next 7 days, we're going to pepper you periodically. So just stay tuned, guys. We're going to pepper you periodically with information on 20 various games, and then at the end, we're going to have some game demos for you. I think that would have went over well, and I think that would have been good enough to get the push that they wanted, the positive push that they wanted with the media, you know. Then I would have been able to say, okay, Mr. Hutchinson destroyed that. But I'm looking at the tracking right now, and I don't see the push. I see reporting on it. I see that PC Gamer did do something. I retweeted DualSense's. I saw that in the tracking, so I retweeted that. DualSense's cool article that they did on Humankind, but I did, before even this whole Alex thing, I didn't see the big push.
It was gonna get there, I think, with Phoenix Rising, because Phoenix Rising got a huge push today as well. It got a new video released by Ubisoft. It got a story trailer delivered by PlayStation. So people were looking into that, and if they look over Twitter, probably they were thinking, okay, Phoenix Rising, it's pushing. I see a lot of stuff going everywhere. So can I play Phoenix Rising? Yes, you can. Right now, data available for everybody. So it could have been pushed, but bruh, we're having a problem right now.
Right.
We're having a crisis.
Devon Simmons said he asked me, now this is a good question right here, y'all. Do you think Stadia should be like how Xbox does it, where they have an indie event and a AAA event? Now I'll tell you what, that would cut out a lot of the confusion and smoke, and they still it would allow them to still drop surprises and stuff on our heads, right? Because I love those surprises. I think we all do. Like the Cyberpunk thing just blew people's minds. So I think it's good that if they did something like that, our expectations will be more checked and realistic. I think that makes sense. What about y'all, real quick?
Go ahead.
Eddie, sorry. No, you go.
Now with Cyberpunk. Okay, so what do you think?
No, I'm saying no. He's saying if you separate it, where Stadia announces an indie event, that's called the indie stuff, so to speak, right? And then the AAA stuff, so it'd be like A and B, where you know that like every time they get ready to announce indie titles or whatever, then you know they're going to be marketing the indie event, and then the AAA event will get marketed separately, so people are not confused, because the confusion turns people off. That's like the number one thing that we've seen, where people start talking about flip-flopping and jumping ship and all that stuff, is from the confusion in the communication, as you were talking about, MM. So what do you think, man?
Here's the problem with all that, though. At the end of the day, you still don't have anything put together for the hardcore brass, right?
Well, the AAA might be
AAA brass. And I think what should have happened, we talked about this earlier in the stream, is everything today that they showed did not warrant a showcase. They should have took everything except Immortals Phoenix Rising and broke it up into Tuesday and Wednesday and made the Tuesday and Wednesday videos 10 to 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
They could have loaded them videos to 15 minutes. What you then do is you take the Cyberpunk announcement,
and
then you take all those Ubisoft games,
and you make that the finale.
And you make that the finale.
Oh my gosh!
The Phoenix with Gods and Monsters, damn it, with Immortals Phoenix Rising, and you then have enough with all the Ubisoft games, Storm and Eddie, to make that 15 minutes along with Cyberpunk. You can make that 15 hours. Then you break all this other stuff into the computer showcase, the PC showcase, and the casual showcase. The Young Souls could have been part of the casual showcase. Make that video 10 minutes. Who cares? It's the casuals don't have a long attention span when it comes to this auxiliary stuff. They just want to play their casual games. And then you got enough to make the PC showcase and the hardcore showcase 15, then subsequently 20 minutes. I mean, Cyberpunk 2077 coming day and date is like 10 minutes alone by itself. Just regurgitate a couple of videos that's already been on Nightwire, talk about it, have Jack Busher high-fiving somebody from CD Projekt Red virtually or something like that, then talk another 10 minutes about these Ubisoft games coming, and then at the end of that today, you drop Immortals Phoenix Rising. Boom, goes the dynamite. But then it really goes boom. And then you take Alex Hutchinson and you put him in a Virgin Space Mobile ship and send him to Saturn. Boom, goes the dynamite. But you guys see what I'm saying? Like, if they would have done that, that would have been, quote unquote, the good stuff. That would have qualified for the good stuff to match the rhetoric. And we get, if we decipher the rhetoric, if we take the magnifying glass and the magic chalupa, we understand what's going on, but you shouldn't have to play decoder ring with PR. It should be air apparent. It should slap you in the face like those good ass commercials they've been dropping. And I don't think I'm just curious if the person or the entity or entities behind the commercials the last few weeks was the same entities in charge of scoping out this event. And I have my doubts, but I could be wrong.
I like it.
Yep.
So I'll quick share here. I'm not sure if we would have a good enough number of AAAs to do a AAA event only. And also, I'm remembering here the event from PlayStation when they presented a lot of good games and also not other indie titles as well. Like there was that Bugs Next presented, which is an indie title, but still people, okay, this might be interesting. So I'm not sure. Maybe balancing is good. I think what we were missing on this show, it's a big banger, but those big bangers are already, as I said, it's already planned. Yeah.
So I want to do this. I want to put these two up here. Hold on. Where's the other one at? They don't have it. Okay, so opposite here, I'm gonna show this. So here's all the Ubisoft games. So you got so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If I counted that right.
To come.
Yep, to come. So what you do is you say, you have a segment, hey, Ubisoft, we want to thank our biggest supporter, Ubisoft. More games are coming, and we know you guys are interested in Uplay Plus. This is just the beginning, more to come. But let's talk about just some of the games coming to the platform soon from Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, whatever, whatever shit they do. Far Cry New Dawn, have explosions and shit like that.
Yeah.
Talk about, you see where I'm going. Ghost Recon, you do. And then as far as the new titles, oh yes, the new titles are coming day and date. Those are the buzzwords for the hardcore. Day and date to the to Stadia. Watchdog Legions.
Don't you think that that ad that you're just describing is going to happen when they introduce the Uplay Plus?
I believe so, and I get your point. My thing is that
they could. I agree with you. They could use the moment to present the demo and say, and you will hear more about Uplay Plus very soon.
I see what you're saying. So you think it's a redundancy, but hey, Eddie, at this point, we're so salivating for Uplay Plus, we don't need a presentation. Just stealth drop the MF. I get what you're saying. No, what you're saying, Eddie, I'm glad. Now that was a chin check for the that was good, because what you're saying there is MM2K. Why create the redundancy? Yep, absolutely. But as I think about it, we want Uplay Plus. The people that really love these Ubisoft, we want it so bad. Do this and then just stealth drop it and have a 5-minute video with that.
I hear what you're saying, but that won't give me and Bibbidi time to take off work when they do drop it. You know what I'm saying? So I need them to stealth drop certain things, but don't stealth drop Uplay Plus, because I need to be able to take off work and make sure I'm home. You know what I mean?
I kind of agree with you, Projekt, as well, because something that big, you probably don't want to overhyped, but you gotta say that, okay, we will talk about this, guys, as they are already talking on Twitter, saying, yeah, we will share more stuff about Uplay Plus soon. So as they announced the Good Stuff event with 1 week in advance,
right?
I think it was okay if before announcing with 1 week in advance, they go on Sunday and say, hey, tune up on the next 2 days. In 2 days, we're going to present something. Mm-hmm. So a 2-day hype, I think it's better than a 7-day hype. And I'm just following the example of the PlayStation 5 review.
I got
the PlayStation, they announced it on a Monday that the presentation was going to happen on a Wednesday. So I feel like the Uplay Plus will come. At this moment, I'm not sure what's going to be the window. It's going to be a Stadia event. It's going to be a Ubisoft event. It's going to be a joint event.
Yeah, we don't even care. We don't care.
I just give me Uplay Plus, man.
Right.
I know, yeah, but what you, I mean, I see what you guys are. I get where you're coming from. I'm just thinking as far as my concern is, I'm happy. Look, I wanted to let you guys know I'm personally happy with what I saw. I look at the big picture, and me getting my Phoenix Immortal Rising demo is something.
Gods and monsters, man. Gods and monsters. Every time, hey, get the cup out, Eddie, man. Get the cup.
I'm gonna get a cup out.
Dang.
$1 for every time they
$5. You got to turn it up on it, man. We don't need them telling the kids it's Phoenix Immortal Rising and have them looking for the wrong game, man. Damn.
That's something I ain't got paid for. Then they're wrong for the title. But no, if that's something that I didn't have last week, y'all. So I'm happy. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at the big picture, and I'm not trying to leave anybody out. And I've said in various streams, hey, look, Hardcore Brash, y'all got to understand, it ain't all about y'all. But at the same time, you do got to look at that pre-packaged messaging, and you just say, damn. You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn. I mean, you do want to leave something on the plate for them too. So I was just thinking the best way to do that. But what you guys are saying, I think makes sense. You do want to have a presentation that's based around that. Let me do something real quick because let's. I think we covered everything. Was there anything else about the event that you guys want to talk about? I think if not, or after we give out our last little bit of thoughts on it, then we can go to like comments and stuff.
All right. Well, before we go to comments, man, I dropped something that I wanted you to share in your DM. I don't know why I put it in the DM, man. Like I dropped a couple links. One of those, I'll get right into, man. But it's people are. I'm surprised to see the entities that we talk about that's out here finally talking about Stadia, and that comes in the form of IGN and others. You know what I mean? Now they finally are out here. They did a video on Immortals Phoenix Rising, huh?
I didn't see this, so
yeah, drop it. Yeah, if it's in, I think I put it in the private one, man. I just click and grab and drop or whatever, man. I should have dropped it right here. I forgot we was using StreamYard. So anyway. But now to see that right there, it kind of shows success across the board at the end of the day when you think about it. Because IGN, you could not go on there and find Stadia content. It came sporadically, put it like that. But now for them to be playing the game, enjoying the game, and then, Greg Miller himself, did you see it?
Yeah, I got. Do I have it up? I thought I had it up.
Greg Miller himself took to Twitter and said, I forgot what he said, so I hope you do find it. But it was positive. And see, this right here, if IGN can do it, so can other publications or whatever.
Can you scroll up a little bit of them just to see?
Look, yeah, they could do the same thing, man. I mean, so this right here puts a smile on my face as a Stadia consumer and lover of the platform, because if they can play this demo, then you telling me that 1 million other people can't sign up and do a little stealth sign up, at least confidential, and create the wrong tag or whatever just to try this demo too? I don't know. Some people are not going to be able to tell their friends that they signed up for Stadia to play Immortals Phoenix Rising. It's not going to blow over too well. But I'm here to tell them that there's a stealthy way you could do it. Since you talk so much trash about the platform, you could do it. You just create another username. You know what I mean? And let that subscription expire, right? And then when Cyberpunk comes, then now you're on your own. You have to decide whether you want to sign up full time or not. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help them out.
I'm surprised a little bit by the.
Let me add something to that quickly here. I was just double checking the IGN website, and there are a few articles on Phoenix Rising recently, but none of them mention Stadia.
Yeah, none of them. I did check that too, but they did the actual YouTube video. I dropped that one as well. They did a video of the gameplay and everything. In the comment section, I was surprised to see more likes than dislikes. Now, it wasn't by a wide margin, but it was more likes than dislikes.
Yeah, okay, so now I got to change your heart.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you now. Look, what I'm trying to tell you is even they were waiting for that big moment. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The big moments are something that this platform is going to have be able to use to its advantage. MM2K and Eddie and chat, they're going to be able to use these things. Like if they could keep pumping out these big announcements and then getting publications and more developers and publishers on board and drop these demos and let people know that Stadia is a great place to have your games. Again, they have to see this, and I think they do. If they don't see it, then we might have to sit at the table with them, y'all.
But
you know what I mean?
But a project, I think. Well, again, I'm loving this game. I played the demo. I loved it. I'm gonna be playing it again. But this specific one, it's another build different than the build that we got on Stadia. So they put out a few videos.
Oh, okay.
There is another video, which is different from this one that MM has opened.
Okay, you said it's another one. Is it
Okay.
IGN?
And
yeah,
I know.
IGN. There's a video with a decent ratio.
Okay.
If you go back, MM, to their website or their YouTube page, just go back. There's a show all videos. There's a video over there on the top, the fourth one. There you go.
Oh.
There's one says Immortal Phoenix Rising first Stadia hands-on.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
The only thing I would say it's missing here. No, it is. Looks like it is there. At the end, there's a click to play link.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
With a different page that I haven't checked that before. That is cool. So
Right.
just as we have the Cyberpunk page, click on show more, MM. On the description, there's a show more down below.
Let's see, show more. All right.
And click on the link.
Yeah. It takes you right to whoa. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And see that right there? Now that right there should say to the Stadia team that they have to continue to go ahead and do things like this so that, because the narrative can be changed. It will change. But if they wanted to change quicker, then they keep on making moves like this,
I think what was going on.
If you go and check the comments on this video, MM, it's a completely different situation than what we are living right now with Alex's situation.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I see what they did here, and again, this is why we got to stop with this. Me included, we got to stop with this mantra that Stadia doesn't know what they're doing. I see what they did. They circumvented the articles. And the reason why I couldn't find this in the tracking is because it's gaining traction. It was really gaining traction on Twitter and gaining traction on YouTube. So what IGN and Greg Miller and company have said is they said, look, when we put up an article, basically, y'all gonna get shitted on. Excuse the French. Let's avoid that for y'all, and let's do some other type of marketing, which would have been smart. So now I backtrack. So yeah, now Alex, you done effed up. You effed up. Yeah, and that's why I couldn't see this, because the tracking that I gauged deals specifically with articles. So
well, that's what's up. When you see it on IGN, they made it. That's 14 million.
And if you look down the comments below, it's saying stuff like, it's worth mentioning that anybody can play this demo. No subscription neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Or they're coming like, I have to say, to be able to see a demo, click on a link and play it. Very cool.
Okay. Absolutely, Eddie.
So, Alex, you fucked up.
Yeah. He did.
Yeah.
But it's all good because everything can be turned around. Like I said, man, there's always a brighter day around the corner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'll still say this isn't explosive. But maybe it was going to be explosive until whatever happened. Who knows? But
what is cool here as well is because IGN put out a bunch of videos about Phoenix Rising. Mm-hmm. And there's this video explaining, okay, you saw everything that we played because we played a lot of that. You can play as well. You just click on this link.
Yeah. And see, it almost puts people in a place that's like, how can I continue to avoid this thing? How can I continue to talk bad about it? And then they make moves that contradict what I said 2 or 3. Well, I won't even say contradict, because some people just don't like the platform for different reasons that they consider valid. I might not agree, but that's their valid reasons, right? Mm-hmm. But this right here kind of like puts them in a position where it's kind of like, how do I as a journalist, as a publication or whatever, I can no longer avoid this thing if that's what my intent was. So that's the big stuff about, that's the good stuff, actually. That's the good stuff. What came out of the event. And this is part of it.
Whoa. So
we got a very strong DM that we should take a look. But it's a tweet from Ryan Wyatt. Ryan, it's this
where to pull it from?
You can just Google or get it on tweet. The handle FWIZ on Twitter.
While you're doing that, I could check out the chat real quick. Haven't heard anything. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh yes. This is the guy that.
He is the leading of YouTube gaming. So
Bubby says, Bubby has well kisses right here. Bubby says, Stadia is having an amazing first year. And I truly believe once the PS5 and Xbox Series X start to justify their purchase in 4 to 5 years, Stadia would be right there with them. MM2K keeps talking about this window of 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years and stuff. So, yeah, that makes sense to him, I'm sure.
Yeah, right. Is this it? Eddie, I think it's shown on the screen.
So, he is the head of YouTube gaming. Everything that goes for YouTube gaming passes through him. So he says here, we believe that publishers and creators have a wonderful symbiotic relationship that has allowed a thriving ecosystem to be created, meaning the streaming world. One that has a mutual benefit. Oh,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Benefits everyone. YouTube is focused on creating value for creators, publishers, and users. All ships rise when we work together.
Absolutely.
Boom, roasted.
For real.
So that's one kind of the tweet that we got from one side of the company, meaning Google company, saying that don't worry, YouTube gaming gonna continue here. You guys don't need to worry. Now we need the other side of the company, the Stadia, saying it's all right to stream Stadia games. We're implementing a new streaming option directly from our software and so on. MM2K and Projekt, I'm very sorry. I gotta let you guys.
Oh no,
go.
no problem, man.
And I gotta pick it up my son.
No problem.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Chat, thanks very much for hanging out.
Hey, thank you, Eddie. Before you go, can you real quick, Eddie, remind people where they can find you?
Absolutely. Everybody find me at Eddie Player One. The links in down the description below. Or follow me on Twitter and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys.
All right, Eddie. All right, and God Hero 25 said, "Dude, I'm hoping for new Stadia updates like the app itself, like stat ratings or having a search box." Yeah, we talked about that search box things, and I know Grace from Google, she confirmed that the search box is definitely on the list of things that they know people want. So yeah, that's great. That's great that you brought that up. See, Louise said something. Call me crazy, but imagine if Stadia lets us play every single game on their library for up to 2 hours and then confirm purchase. Kind of kill the need for old demos. Hoo-hoo, like a trial. Yeah, man.
Exactly.
I could see that happening. Let's see. Froggy and Charles were talking. Gandara, these free demo days will have shown publishers that Stadia is an effective and secure way of delivering game demos to players, which will help to better legitimize the platform. Absolutely. Just what we said earlier. Your thoughts are right in line with ours, man. That's dope. Zajic, did I miss anything? Yes, sir. A whole lot, man. A whole lot. That's all I can say, but it's good that you could catch it up here on YouTube, though. Not too much, Zajic. We just went over the show, the Good Stuff event, and our opinion on the Twitter noise right now that's happening with Alex Hutchinson and some other stuff. Real cool chat. It was very. I'm having fun, man.
Absolutely. No, and again, just to sum it all up, as we continue to go through the chat, I enjoy, me personally, and the MM2K enjoyment level is fantastic. I like the prospects of them speaking individually to different sectors. Again, the casual, who's their own group, the PC people, who's their own group and have their own habits. I had wished for a more stronger pipeline today with the hardcore gamer. I don't know who they were trying to talk to today. I don't know what they were doing is they said, we want to talk to casuals and the PC people, but we want to throw in a game for the hardcore. So let's throw in a demo for the hardcore, which is Phoenix. Let's get that out there. And then let's show games that are for the PC. The PC and the message didn't land 100% perfectly, but at all in all, I'm happy. I was just saying that one, I wasn't sure if they did enough that they could do
right
to to rub our backs. When I say ours, I mean the hardcore gamers' backs enough to say, even though this isn't for me, I want to help propel this.
Right.
And two, two has been admonished because you guys just helped me. We did it. And that's what the show is for. You see the sausage being made real time. We started doing our due diligence, doing some fact finding, and we get to the truth. So that's what I like. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And then the other thing, is whether they met at the expectation level, the bar that they set for themselves with the success of the advertising itself. You know what I mean? Like that was a high bar after Cyberpunk, and then you drop the good stuff is coming and all that, man. That right there is how you do it, right? Mm-hmm. But that's another part of what we wanted to try to clarify. But Charles right here said something that, man, Charles reminding us that there's supposed to be another Ubi forward at some point. Remember they said there was going to be another one, right?
I did hear that before. I did hear
right? That. I think that's what the lady said. What we need to find out now is when it's going to be. Because just like they announced Cyberpunk is coming to Stadia, maybe they might have something else to announce on the next Ubi forward. That's worth looking into. So he said, did you see my tweet link in Twitter DMs? I surely didn't if it came to me. I might have missed it though. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Nah, it probably came to you. But let me see what else you all were saying. Motoko, I'm not sure how to Motoko. All right. I was really hoping just some Cyberpunk Stadia footage to make the video a little longer. Oh yeah. Now and see the Cyberpunk stuff is gonna come. I'm sure we might be showered with that before it actually drops on the platform. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Roman Stormborn said Stadia is in a much better place than Microsoft was with the first Xbox. Don't even get MM2K started on that. It's just something we just said last night on the Commission, our new podcast called The Commission. You can find that on MM2K's channel. Dope show. We had a whole lot of fun, man. Definitely check that out.
I was retweeting a homie. Thank you, Wyatt, for coming out there and saying what he had to say, because people want to run with this. So
right,
right. And it was, and again, Alex. I mean, y'all got look, Google. You got to I don't want to tell a Fortune 500 multi-trillion-dollar company that me sitting in my man cave right now filming this, I got a better idea. But this was bad. You guys know it was bad. I really do think that you guys should revisit this easy peasy state on social media. If somebody's going to wear the Stadia moniker, like how Major Nelson does. Major Nelson, trust me, he ain't saying no tweet that's going to do any damage to Microsoft. If he's going to have that Microsoft VP label there, everything has to be, pro Microsoft and doesn't do any harm to the company. You guys are going to have to have the same practice because this is gaming, a different animal, and they will gnaw at your raw bones.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to go and just say whatever they want, then don't let them have Google in their name. If he wouldn't have had Google head of thingy in his name, just would have been a non-issue because nobody would have known who he is.
Nobody would have really cared.
Nobody knows. Nobody of importance in the mainstream does any due diligence on Stadia anyway. It would have been a non-issue. So Google, this is why we said what we said. And this is one of the things that, again, we know that you're successful because you know what you're doing. But this might just be one of the things, just you want to tweak just a little bit, just revisit it. But I'm sorry, go ahead, continue to be.
I was going to go ahead and go. Hey, that needed to be said. Chris said they should take advantage of the trend and click the play links for 3 demos on that guy's Twitter profile. Yo, that would be great because they got the traffic over there, huh? Let's see. Christopher Torres, he was talking to Spaceman. says, I'm happy overall with the games, with all the games that Stadia is coming out with. I mean, we got games. I am not sure if gamers are not, gaming or what, but I'm having a blast. And that right there is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I'm thinking about the games that I want to play right after this stream is over. After I get some food, I'm trying to think about what games I want to jump on the platform. So that's what's up.
Real quick, Storm, before we go, I want to play this. I mean, I want to show this from the homie Dustin.
Okay.
Great comment. He said, so Lloyd, he was responding to Lloyd. Lloyd said, so last week we had Cyberpunk 2077 and Ubisoft news. This week, 3 days of good stuff. Next week, we'll learn how the November Pro games will be. That is true. So,
yeah.
So you got, back to back. Stadia has been firing on all cylinders this month. Way to go, Stadia. That was pre-Alex. But Dustin says, my takeaways, and I'll surmise it from the whole event. It was good. There was some surprises. The big game that stuck out to him was Phoenix Point. Sometimes it shows that neither the front end or the back end know what they're doing. PR marketing is the front end to him. Behind the scenes is the back end. His takeaways, maybe don't announce this a week in advance. It only leads to hype speculation, high expectations. So he's pretty much saying the stealth drop that you were alluding to. Also don't announce the demos ahead of the event because that nixes the mic drops from that event. Because of this, I was left wondering if there must be something bigger coming up.
Right.
Also, it would have been better as a day one event, but I somewhat understand why it was done what it was done. Cool. Yeah, I originally said, and I got to be straightforward. I'm going to get your take on this before we roll, Storm. I originally said that I thought everything should be lumped together, but then I understood what they were doing. They were trying to talk to different segments, and they were trying to talk to them, separately to have intimate conversations with them.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with that. Actually, I think that was smart as hell. The problem that I did have is it didn't. Like, have you ever had a situation at work, people, where they're like, we want to talk to you?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, okay, we want to talk. We want to talk to the group. Say you're part of Group A. We want to talk to Group A. And you're like, so we're gonna have sit downs and meetings, individual meetings with Group A.
Mm-hmm.
Come Monday. So weekend, you're salivating, you're ready, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna say this to the boss, give this suggestion, maybe this will help me out, get me a raise, all this other stuff. And then they pull 3 people to the side. There's 80 y'all, and they pull 3 people to the side, talk to them, and don't talk to you. How does that going to make you feel?
Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, what the hell's going on? The message was we're going to talk to Group A. And that's what I think. It didn't land. It still landed well overall. I think it was more positives definitely than negatives, but it didn't land as effectively. I'm the person that squeezes every single juice out of the lemon. It didn't land as well as it could have because the frontline messaging wasn't as on spot as I forgot the word you used, Storm. But what are your thoughts on that?
I think they always learn from that first mistake. Now they haven't really done something like this before. So the next time they try it, it will be much more clear, much more transparent, much more streamlined, much more, time friendly for all who took time to watch the events and stuff. I think that's what we will see in the next one. But man, just thinking about how everything is lining up, I think I have said that I think they're going to have something leading all the way up to the end of the year, not just November 19th for the 1-year anniversary of Stadia, but leading up to close out this 2020 year, we'll be hearing some noise, and that's going to be frequent noise. That's just what I'm thinking, and it's lining up that way. Like you just called out an example about the pro games that we still didn't even think about with all this going on. Man, what are they about to be?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's about it though.
All right.
But I want to say, man, I had a good time, a good discussion today. Just a lot of deep thinking, man. My mind is all over the place, man. I got a chance to unwind, hang, kick back, and just, be exposed to different possibilities and thoughts, like the chat and you guys, you and Eddie, and just to see the thing out there circulating, and publications like IGN is out here and they're enjoying it. Mm-hmm. Yo, this is what we always dreamt about when it came to Stadia as a platform.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But hey, this is what this platform is for. We've said it time after I got to do it time after time. We're gonna get that on the soundboard. But we sit here to be stewards of the truth, to break things down and put it in its proper bucket. And then sometimes the magic will happen during show, and y'all see that I'm open minded. MM2K. With the help of Eddie and Projekt Storm, y'all brought me to a more fathomable, place at the end of all this. So, with that said, thank you everybody for joining, man. You guys are the greatest. Appreciate it so much.
All day.
We got what we got going. Hey, Storm, let the people know where they can find you.
Well, you can find me here on YouTube, Projekt Storm. The link is in the description, or in the, where did you put it in the description, right?
Yep, it's in the description.
Yeah, down in the description, you can find me there. I try to make as much 4K Stadia content as I can. I also make content for other platforms as well. I'm anticipating the PS5, the Series X, man. I try to play it all. If I call myself a gamer, you know what I'm saying, I think I need to play these games, So, and then you can find me also over on Twitter at the Nephophiliac, and you'll see me in MM2K. You'll see a lot of buzz coming from us on Twitter and other places about what we have coming up, man, because we have so many great things going on, So what's coming up next is this SML podcast on Saturday at 12 Eastern time with myself and my brother right here, MM2K. I wouldn't rather be rocking with anybody else on the SML, So that's Saturdays at 12 Eastern time. Hey, with all this good stuff and all these news, all this news has been dropping. We have some great things to cover, y'all. And I feel like something's going to happen before Saturday that we might need to talk about. So let's see, people. But I appreciate each and every one of you. On Sunday, you can find me with Snow Bunny Gaming. That's Ying meets Yang of Gaming podcast. All right, YMYOG. You can find us there at 6 Eastern time for a great laid-back discussion on all things gaming.
All right. And of course, you guys know y'all can find me here. You can also find me at the renewed Stadia Dosage channel, which is now Stadia Dosage 2. That's where all of our streams will be. You'll get more information on it. But with that said, man, you'll catch, me and Storm SML this weekend. Definitely be there, man. It's going to be, Storm, I got a feeling that
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready for it already. I just need to recoup now that the good stuff is over, so we can put it behind us, y'all, and look forward to what's gonna be dropped on our heads next.
Absolutely. All right. With that said, thank you everybody for participating and coming here today. It was a great discussion. And as always, you have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.
And the good stuff.